This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Mass Effect. And wait a minute, weren't we in front of like a beacon when we finished the episode? Yeah, we did. Before we finish Eden Prime officially, I wanted to show something extra off that I didn't show before because I was trying to do maximum Shepard build without like building up his Intimidate. So if we can get Intimidate up to box number 2, we can get an extra bit of conversation from the farmers about that smuggler. We can convince him to tell us. However, we're going to need a third box if we want to get some more information from the smuggler himself. So we're going to have to buy this twice. So yeah, if you want to maximize Shepard, you kind of almost have to kind of just speed through the game first, get to the end, start the game over again, and then you can kind of get all the options available. So this is for those who are like pure like min-maxers. You want to play this game twice and like rush it the first time and then max out the first time. Or second time, I mean. So anyway, let's decrypt this and talk to those farmers again. Hopefully I get this right, because you'd be surprised how often I miss these easy ones because either the controller or I was too quick on the draw or whatever. Now, interesting thing is, I talked about how you can skip dialogue. You can actually, we've already talked to all these guys, so we don't have to, we can just go straight to goodbye to get to the dialogue we want. You can actually, if you press X, like I did there, it'll skip to, the game will automatically choose neutral dialogue, so it's kind of there as a, for those who want to just get to combat and maybe skip certain scenes or whatever. So that way, for those who play the game, you can just skip it and give it neutral if you don't care about Renegade and stuff like that. So we'll do the, oh yeah, and how Renegade and Paragon points are for people who want to know, like, do you have to be Renegade the whole choice to get the points, or it's actually based off very specific choices in a conversation. Like when we just intimidated him, that gives me a +2 to my Renegade score, and then when I choose this one, I'm gonna get another +2, and obviously over the course of the game those numbers will improve when we get to higher levels and stuff like that. So yeah, it's based on very specific decisions, kind of like when we got the massive amount of Renegade points for punching out Manuel. That's where we got the most Renegade points from. And when we were conversing with Ashley, we got the Renegade points from the first choice not to take her with us. That gives you Renegade points if you at first go, nah, we don't need you, that type of thing. So anyway, let's see what happens if we actually convince them this time to tell us about Powell.
Would you rather be a snitch or a corpse?
Powell. His name's Powell.
No honor among thieves.
That's all I know, really. So let's try to keep things friendly from here on in, okay?
Let's keep it civil, all right?
I have to go.
I just threatened you guys, but I have to go. Yeah, I've noticed in this game, yeah, like Renegade Shepard is a lot more like he'll just threaten to shoot you and stuff like that. While in later games, I swear Renegade Shepard isn't as aggressive later on. Also, I want to show you how electronics works. It's the same as bypass. It's the only difference is that you get extra stuff. I just want to show you what was in the box. As you can see, it's just some basic weapons and armor. So if you missed out on that electronics from before, I'm just kind of sad about myself for not forgetting that there's decryption and electronics are two different things I have to pay attention to. I just, for some reason, it just jumped out of my brain. So anyway, let's check in with Powell now that we know he's the
Something's moving over
smuggler.
Wait, don't.
Okay,
don't
yeah,
shoot.
if you choose you're a coward, that gives you another +2 Renegade points.
I like the way.
My name's Powell.
And then
I saw
I
what
just have to
happened
be
with
careful
Turi.
about
What the hell are you talking about?
skipping
Your friends
dialogue
seem to
here because I
relax.
might accidentally choose
He let his guard
the
down.
neutral option.
We were told
It's
to.
okay. I knew they killed
I'm
everyone.
like barely touching it to make sure I'm
If
like
I'd been behind the crates, I'd
not
be
like
dead too.
holding it down or whatever. So anyway, now that we've gotten the information from the farmers, we can actually bring this up to Powell about that.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
I mean, yeah, I guess so, but I don't know, maybe it's the thought of it. You could, yeah, you're right, or smuggle any weapons.
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
I can see where Ashley's coming from, because yeah, that may, I mean, obviously wouldn't have saved everyone, but it might have saved a few people in the long run. I mean, grenades are can do a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage, yeah. I mean, you could obviously be nice and let it go, Williams, or hand him over. It's like you're pathetic scum.
Hand over those grenades. Now.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
Now, now obviously you can Paragon, and you can get obviously your own results there. But this is another Renegade point option as well. But yeah, if you have 3 boxes of Intimidate or Paragon, obviously you can get you can even get more out of him. You're lying.
Too many people died here for you to start jerking me around.
Okay, all right. There was something else. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
Yeah, see how often, like, if you choose Renegade options in this game, that Shepard's just more willing to pull a gun on someone? It's like... later on, he becomes almost like a psychopath, really, when you think about it. But I kind of love... it's kind of like in Star Wars, the Knights of the Old Republic, when you're Renegade... when you're... you know, dark side. You're just so deliciously evil that it's just entertaining to play that version. I kind of wish I'd played, when I played those games, I wish I'd done dark side runs. I just wanted to play the canonical version of the characters, that's all.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the...
Okay, anyway, he disappears, and yeah, we get the high explosives, which is a grenade upgrade. Well, when he says he gives you the grenades, I think I guess he gives you more grenades. I never understood that part, but the big thing is he gives you the grenade upgrade, which obviously you don't need it. You'll eventually get these from either random drops or whatever, but at the beginning of the game or maybe higher difficulty, it is a nice little reward, because yeah, it gives you a nice little damage increase, the radius bumps up a bit, and it can possibly blow the people off of their legs and stuff like that. So obviously, like I said, if you miss it, doesn't hurt that badly. But anyway, now that we're done with that, let's go back to the original save. So yeah, we won't have that upgrade or anything, but I just wanted to show off like what you can possibly miss if you don't pump it into that. So if you're playing roleplay wise, obviously, you know, obviously me saying don't put points into Renegade or Charm or Intimidate or Charm, obviously you can ignore me for that point if you're just playing for fun like normal easy. But this is kind of if you're going for insanity runs or whatever, you want to have your Shepard min-max to survive those easier. So anyway, now that we found the beacon here, we should take it back to the Normandy. I'm surprised Nihilus, I guess, didn't take it with him, which is odd. Let's see what let's touch it.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is
Request
amazing.
immediate
Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch him. It's too dangerous.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Doctor Chakwas, I think he's waking up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Hey, was it me, or was that purple lady like extremely hot? I mean, yeah. Did you recognize the voice of that lady in the purple with Saren? That was Marina Sirtis, I believe her name is. She played Deanna Troi in Star Trek Next Generation. So that was kind of a surprise to hear when I first played the game. I'm trying to remember if she's done much outside of it. I know she did like bit roles and got voice acting every once in a while, but I don't think she did much outside of Star Trek. I think she did some, from what I understand, she did some skeevy movies when she was in her younger acting days, and Star Trek Next Generation apparently helped her get out of doing that type of stuff. I think she even said about thinking that the fans because of that one. But anyway, sorry to go on a little tirade about that. So anyway, yeah, we showed this beacon, like it showed us some images, and boom, something about like weird flesh and machines and stuff like that is crazy. Oh, if you're playing male Shepard, Ashley, well, like we saw, and she's just staring into my soul there. Stop it, Ashley. That's creepy. Ashley will get in the way. If you're playing Fem Shep, then Kaiden will get in the way instead. So it's almost like it's pointing towards a certain thing. But anyway, I'm okay. What happened? Not great.
Like the morning after shore leave. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
Okay, so for those who've ever played any BioWare game before, there's certain characters in your group or team that can become like you can become closer with, intimate, or romance over the course of the games. And some of their, depending on which game, like in Old Republic, it was either Karth or Bastila, and number 2, it was the if you were the male I forgot what they called the main hero from the second game. Crap, I used to know off the top of my head. It was either the Handmaiden or Visus, or I think Visus or whatever her name was, the blind chick. And if you're a femme character from that game, it's God, it's been forever since I played 2. I've forgotten their names now. It's the guy who joined you the first time on the asteroid, or the apostle, not the apostle, like the apprentice or whatever. Those two are romanceable. And then Baldur's Gate, there's all sorts of kind of same with Neverwinter Nights in this game. Anyway, in this case, it's if you're male Shep, it's Ashley and another character we don't have on our team. I don't want to spoil. And if you're femme Shep, it's Kaiden and another character we haven't introduced yet. So if you want to start your improving with your rate with Ashley here, I think you have to answer this right here. If you don't, I think it cuts off the romance for the rest of the game. So if you say you're careless, you're basically just, telling her you don't care about that. So for this game, I'm going to show, for the most part, getting to know Ashley a bit better. So we'll not give her blame for this.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. The lieutenant and I carried you back here to the ship.
I think you have to be nice throughout this whole conversation with her. It definitely helps. Like I said, normally I would just play a pure run, but I'm kind of just trying to show, because most people tend to, when they play this run, tend to romance the other character and not Ashley. She's kind of get ignored in this game a lot when most people play the game. So I'm trying to make that a little bit of a different thing for the most part. So let's keep being nice to her specifically, even though I wouldn't normally be.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
As you can already tell, when I chose those options, you saw Ashley give a physical response, like, that she appreciated what we did. So obviously that's the start of that. As is, like I said, if you don't care about did you see that graphical glitch when my head like reset back up or whatever? You're gonna see a lot of that over the course of the game. Anyway, I was dreaming, dream vision, more like a nightmare.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death? destruction? Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
When you're here, Keith David, I'm always okay. I feel bad about Jenkins. No, we don't. Why is Williams here? I'm pissed off about the Geth.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
Okay, this is one of those options where you can just choose before you want to go on. So let's ask about Williams.
Chief Williams isn't part of the Normandy crew.
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Normally I would say that, but I don't think it goes back to bite you on this option. But I'm gonna try to be semi-nice to Ashley now that we're out of a danger zone.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
I don't care that Jenkins is dead, but we're gonna ask this just for the sort of completion in this case, since it doesn't end the conversation.
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Yeah, he got ripped to shreds by a Geth drone, which didn't rip us to shreds, but it ripped him to shreds. I know it's a story-based thing, but it's just kind of silly that he just dies just like basically a little bitch, you know?
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
Yeah, the fact that the Spectre died so easily, he did all these amazing things, and all it took was a bullet to the back of the head to finish him off. Well, I mean, it's the problem with, like, heroes and overinflating them to what they are. We're all flesh and bone. Got nothing to hide. I did my job. To hell with them!
The Council can kiss my ass. I won't let them blame me for losing the beacon. I didn't do anything wrong.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Yeah, the game kind of like tells you ahead of time that maybe a story like this might occur because they talk about what would happen if one went rogue, and boom, one goes rogue. So it's like a bit of foreshadowing, like right before it happens. So very few games do stuff like that. I mean, they try not to because they want to keep it a secret, but it's like, you know, what type of mystery is it when it just pops up out of nowhere with no rhyme or reason? That's why I'm not a fan of like what's his name? He does movies. Crap. He does the what a twist. And I hate it because he just throws twists out of nowhere, and it's like, you didn't see it coming, that's a good twist. I'm like, no, it isn't. That's a terrible twist. Anyway, hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Yeah, just flashes of images and stuff like that. Yeah, it was kind of a blur, really. I mean, I know what it is, but, you know, for the sake of our character.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
Warning, war, or death.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
This is great foreshadowing for what comes later in the game. Not to spoil things, but what will we say? There's nothing to report. Forget it.
They'll think I'm crazy.
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
Why does Anderson know so much about why Saren is such a human hater? I wonder. I had a point where I was going to, but anyway, you're right. I'll stop. Oh, with the whole council hate, you're probably thinking, oh, they're probably not as bad. Well, if you know anything about politics in general, you're gonna hate these people. Anyway, not if I can help it.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
Well, can't we just revoke his Spectre status somehow? Understood, sir. We'll expose him. They can't help us. We gotta go renegade ourselves. Renegade against renegade.
When have they ever done anything for humanity?
If we expose Saren as a traitor, the Council will revoke his Spectre status. I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Well, other than this Geth doing whatever they did, now we've got a rogue Spectre to deal with. Oh boy. Well, if only we were a Spectre ourselves, we could handle it, but nah. Us being the first human Spectre? That's silly. Except for, well, anyway. Alright, now we can actually explore the ship. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I've been kind of ignoring the journal. I actually do that during the main game as well, just because I'm so used to playing it, I forget that I don't have to read these, but I won't do this all the time because that will really bog down the game, but it basically just gives you a summary of like what's happening and what you need to do. You know, Prime was destroyed, or beacon on Prime was destroyed, showed you images of death, you know, stuff like that. At some point, I don't know if I'm probably not going to do it this episode, but at some point I am going to do a dive into the codex, maybe at the beginning of episodes or maybe at the end of episodes I'll do like a codex kind of listen just to talk about and hear the voice actor that does it. But for now, let's get some exploration out of the way. So let's check this place out.
Hey, Commander.
Oh, hey Ashley, how's it going? Thanks for saving my butt.
After what happened to Jenkins, the crew could use some good news. They'll be glad to hear you're okay.
Why are you on the Normandy? No, I'm trying to be nicer to her. I don't think every conversation, I think the really major one is that bit in the actual when you get up, but like I said, it's better to be safe than sorry. I haven't really hacked the game, so I don't remember every little detail, so you don't sound glad.
Sounds like you're disappointed I survived.
I never want to see anything bad happen to a fellow Marine, Commander. Let's just leave it at that.
Something wrong? Oh. Yeah, let's apologize for our efforts before, just because of we kind of told her that she sucked basically as a soldier, so
I think we got off on the wrong foot, Williams. Maybe we could start again.
I'm not one to hold a grudge. I think we're all looking to put Eden Prime behind us.
This should fix whatever issues I did before, yeah, so that way I could get the Renegade points, but then be kind of nice in her books.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
Yeah, usually a lot of cases survivors go. Obviously I'm not a soldier myself, but I've heard stories about how, when you're a soldier, you usually hang out with your group for long periods of time. You basically become friends, if not family, and then to see their cold lifeless bodies on the field or to bring them back, I mean, that's just a punch to the mental gut and physical gut, really, when you think about it. So, and obviously, if we want to keep being a dick or don't care about our relationship with Ashley, let's just be a dick. But in this case, oh no, you helped us. You're soldier class, so obviously you helped.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
Don't disappoint me. I should go. Yeah, our general neutral response. So glad to have you. No, really. I mean, she's a soldier class. It's great to have her.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Yeah, we do get some Paragon points, but that's fine. Like I said, when it comes to Ashley, we're fine. And it doesn't. Don't worry, if you do everything you can in the game, we'll easily fill up our renegade. I mean, look at that. We started the game, and there's a lot more to go, and I've already filled up, like, I mean, not a quarter, but we're pretty high on that, like, renegade list. So I think we'll be fine, you know, with getting some Paragon. You have anything else to say?
Joker's waiting for you on the bridge, Commander.
If you're playing FemShep, Kaiden's here instead. It's the same thing. You can either berate him or appreciate him, and then that could start you off on a relationship for Kaiden. If you're FemShep. Well, that's sort of true, but I don't want to spoil anything for later games.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Hey, Doc, anything else you need to tell me about, like, what's going on or your whole life story?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
True, and I like Chakwas. I'm glad she's a part of the. Well, I'm not really saying it's a spoilers, but it's nice to see that she's basically around for all 3 games of the series, and same voice actress as far as I'm aware. You know.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
Chakwas is an interesting character, mainly just because she's a pretty normal character in the grand scheme of, like, sci-fi doctors. Usually in most sci-fi, the doctors are usually, well, I mean, they're not always, like, crazy or absurd. I mean, think of Crusher from Star Trek Next Generation. She was pretty straightforward. But a lot of sci-fi will make the doctors pretty, like different from normal people just because of what they're doing, you know? Like either the hologram from Voyager or the alien from, like, Enterprise or Bones, although I'm mainly mentioning Star Trek. Although this game has a lot of Star Trek influence in it, as you can tell. I mean, they got Deanna Troi herself to voice one of the characters in it, so. Captain Anderson?
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
I think it's because she's normal, because this game tries to, despite all the crazy fantasy elements that are in science fiction, they try to keep some characters grounded in reality. And what about Kaiden?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over 12 special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
Here we go. We learn about the interesting world of biotics for humans.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
And if you're wanting to know, if you're they might mention this later on or maybe in the later games, but we are implanted with an L3 implant, not a L2 like Kaiden is, because we were implanted later on. So,
what kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Kaiden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
Ouch. And you're an L3 implant. They'll mention that. I think they mentioned that somewhere. I don't remember who, or maybe even you do when you're talking to Kaiden. But if you're an adept, a vanguard, or a sentinel, then you have an implant. So
I should go.
Goodbye,
and if you talk to characters, one of the benefits of talking to characters is, we get if you check up Shepard's locker, we get some nice new weapons here. So let's take those. If you talk to characters, it increases your codex information, so you can look that up for those who want references or stuff about the world. And if you kind of explore and look around, like the ship, sometimes you'll find like little things you can click on that'll give you codex information. So for those who want to like get the most experience you can, want to make sure to talk to people. Even if you skip their dialogue, you at least want to talk to them to unlock these codexes. Now you're probably wondering, how am I getting levels so fast in this game? I shouldn't be this high of a level at this point. I actually, when you beat the game, when you unlock a certain achievement, I forgot what the name of it is, I'll have to look it up, but it increases your experience by 10% when you get it. I think you have to reach max level by the end of the game or at some point, I think.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
And that's why I get a bit more experience. It's not going to break the game for those who are playing brand new. It just means I might have a few more levels above you or anyone else, but it's not that big of a deal, but it's nice for those who are just new game plusing and all that.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
Yeah, we don't really, since we're mail ship, we don't really get much of a conversation for Kaiden, except, well, we do later. Just not at the beginning, after what happened with the ship and everything like that, so. I'll try to get to the next stage of the game here. Here we go to the elevator sections of the games. Yeah, to reduce load times, the game would have quite a few elevator sections. We're not even at the worst one yet. It'll be when we get to our next destination. the little ditties going on there. That's funny. Anyway, this is the what would you call it? Not the this is where like the vehicle would be, as well as like I think engineering, I guess, would be the. Let's see what the map says, if it actually says vehicle bay and engineering. Yeah, so it even says engineering on the map. Oh yeah, I tend to forget to look at the map often because I'm so used to like just playing through the game and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, here is where you can actually adjust your, outside of a combat scenario, you can actually adjust your character's inventory. So if you want to like, don't want to do all that prep during the mission, you want to get it done ahead of time, you can go here to mess with it, or try to. The main reason you might go down here is to try and like get everyone maxed out on whatever weapons or armors they have, and then you can sell the rest or omni-gel the rest of them depending on how you're playing or whatever. So we'll if you do everything in the game, you're going to end up like omni-gelling a lot of items and selling them. Yeah, if we check the Mako, we get a codex here for the Mako. You're either going to love or hate the Mako at some point, folks. I personally like it, but I know it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
This is the Requisitions Officer. We're going to be checking in with him a lot, and we're going to need to help him with getting some supplies later on.
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Aren't I the soldier? Shouldn't I just requisition it? Why do I have to pay for it? Yeah, exactly. It's like, pay you.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
So what he means by licenses is over the course of the game, we can find shops all over the galaxy. Spoilers, we're going to be traveling across the galaxy in a sci-fi game. I know, a shocker, folks. But you can actually buy licenses in certain areas, and by doing that, it'll lock more stuff in his inventory, which we'll want to do. And the licenses aren't that expensive either. Usually only a couple, like, 100 credits at most, I think. But let's ask him about that.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Yeah, I forgot which license it is, but basically it's best to get a lot of licenses, but there is a certain brand. I forgot what it's called. It might be the Spectre brand or something like that. There is a specific brand of armor that at the end of the game is the best armor you can get for you and your crew. I think it is like Spectre armor or something similar to that, but
what do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Well, until you get to a certain point in the game, and then you're like, no, this is...
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Now, really, for the most part, I tend to not...
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
I tend not to buy from him until like the very end of the game. So okay, this is the it is the Spectre Master Gear. So now you're probably wondering, why do I already have the Spectre Gear unlocked at this point? I forgot what point it is in the game where you can finally buy the Spectre Gear or whatever. I think it's like dang near the end of the game, like one of the final areas of the game where you can get it. But because I've already beaten the game already, I forgot what achievement it is, but it basically unlocks the Spectre Gear already from the get-go. So technically, I don't have to buy. I don't have to buy the licenses, because this is the best gear in the game, bar none, is the Spectre Gear. So I'm going to be saving my credits for this, because as far as I'm aware of, you cannot earn Spectre Gear from random drops. It's like one of the few things you will never get. This is also another thing you're willing to buy, as well as unique gear and stuff like that, like grenade gears. This will allow you to carry more Medigel and grenade gear. So we're going to go ahead and actually, I might hold off on that now. We'll buy it later, but the reason I want to hold off is we get codex entry about licenses and stuff like that. The reason I want to hold off on it is, actually, no, it's because you charmed. Actually, you might have to play this game 3 times now that I think about it, if you want to max out like your charm skill and stuff like that, because then that'll make the higher your charm skill, you can reduce the cost of shops and whatever. So, okay, so technically you have to play the game 3 times to max out your character, because then you play a run where you do all Paragon choices and stuff like that. But I'll hold off on buying those now, but it's definitely something to consider for later when you go to shops, is look at Medigel upgrades. At normal and low difficult or casual, you probably won't have to worry about that too much, because the game's doesn't beat you over the head with certain difficulty, except in certain scenes, and even then. So, all right, anyway, let's check this out. This gives us another codex and some experience, and let's talk to Engineer Adams, see what he has to say.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
Oh well, all right. We'll be able to talk to him later when we actually get to the next section of the game. I think it's after we do the section we go to, and then we come back to the ship, because we'll have a section where we'll have to leave the ship for a while. But we can do the whole, like in all BioWare games, you can talk about the character's life story and what their ambitions are. For like some of it, it's pretty hilarious when you think about it. Well, what can you do? Like, they have to find ways to, because I mean, the characters aren't going to say it in conversation. You are going out of your way to talk to these people. So, all right, now that we're on the next floor here, up we go, up we go, up we go, up, up, up. Oh, come on. I think if we want to get to the next section, we obviously have to choke to Joker, but I want to. Yep, here's another codex entry. And then let's talk to Presley, see what he has to say.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
I didn't even think Jenkins was that interesting of a character, frankly. He was just the farm boy, but I don't know, I guess everyone liked him, so. Yeah. I think we heard that before. I think there's a... It might be... We might have to wait for the next section of the game to unlock this little bit here. No, okay, we can't check it now. I got another codex entry for the FTLs. For those who don't know, faster light travel. Although we'll go... When the codex, like... when we actually go through the codex, I'll actually explain all that. Okay, that'll just take us back down. I think we're done with it. I don't think there's anything else to check on the ship currently. No, I guess not. So, alright, let's talk to Joker, and I think maybe something else unlocks here when we actually get back to the ship officially, but let's talk to Joker and get on out of here.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
I guess no one would want their top dog to be accused of treason, but, Udina, you're gonna... Well, let's just say you're gonna love to hate this guy. He's your typical politician, but, anyway. He's dangerous, it's the truth. They're blind, sir.
I'm not gonna sit on my ass just because the Council doesn't want to do anything. If they won't stop Saren, I will.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
We're already getting along already, Ashley. I can tell. 4 locations are marked on your map for active missions. Yep. This is basically one of the hub worlds of the game where this whole area, you could spend... I think I remember the first time I played this game, because I'm one of those that will just, like, explore an area, especially in games like this. I think it took me, like... God, I'm trying to think how many hours I was here until I officially did the game. Official story. It was... I'll try not to do that. I'll try to, like, maybe pick up missions and kind of get the main story activated as soon as I can, so I can kind of divvy out when I do side missions and stuff like that, so we're not just in the Citadel for, like, 50 episodes or whatever. And that's also why I'm making the episodes longer than they are, because of how long this game is, and how sometimes it'll take me forever to go through certain things. Anyway, when we decrypt this, we get some info. Alliance Patrol Report. Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during a patrol on the Argus Row cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before our team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do you want to send in a recon team? Interesting. What to think of? We'll have to look into that later. Yeah, if you, like, read certain information or look around, you can unlock, like, possibly areas to go to later, so possibly missions, stuff like that. So there's a lot. I mean, this is an RPG. You know, that's what it is. It's all about, you can either do the plot or you can explore everywhere. So, like this whole area here, we can just explore, talk to people. What the?
I understand what you're saying, but these allegations are very serious. I can't just... This is serious. My reputation is at stake. I spoke with the consort in confidence, and her alone, and she betrayed that confidence. All right. I will look into it for you. In the meantime, do not do anything rash.
I love this race of creatures. I'll have to look them up. I forgot what they are at the top of the head. But you know the way they talk? Actually, the way they talk kind of reminds me of who's that one comedian who like talks kind of like monotone? You know, he's like, I spilled spot remover on my dog. Now he's gone. And yeah, he kind of sounds like that. Actually, he sounds like Brian Posehn, weirdly enough, too. I wonder if that's his voice. But yeah, since this is a sci-fi game, we're going to have all these different races. And if you talk to, I think it's when you just talk to the race for the first time, I think it eventually unlocks their codex. It might be specific characters as well. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to hear some praying mantis or whatever grasshopper-looking things. Can't interact with it, though. So let's see what these monotone people are talking about.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
Oh, you're a business thing, person, creature. Okay, what's wrong?
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Consort? Aren't those kind of like ladies of, well, not ladies of the evening. Those, I was thinking of an escort. Never mind. What's a well, actually, isn't consort like a Middle Eastern term, or like from old, back in the day? Not current Middle Eastern, but like Arabian times, that type of thing. Isn't that where that word originates from? It's like a consort, like someone who comforts you or you can consult with, something like that. I might be thinking a bit off on this, but anyway, let's ask him about that.
Who's this Asari consort?
Curious, you have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
So you talk too much to the lady of the evening, huh? So where is she?
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Yeah, this race of aliens is interesting because of how monotone they are. They sometimes have to tell you like how they're reacting. Kind of like when you said alarmed response, because the way they can communicate probably is they communicate. I think if I remember, they communicate actually differently, but when they actually use their voice, they have to say that because people don't understand. They don't get the subtleties of the voice, so they have to tell you like, oh, sarcastically, kind of like a robot would. Like a good example would be HK-47 from Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, which is also another one of my favorite characters.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Den. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
These are Voluses. They're from I forgot what planet they're originally from. They're basically from a planet that has a different atmosphere. I think it's like nitrogen based or something like that, but they can't live in an oxygen fueled environment officially, so they have to wear these bodysuits. And no, we never find out what their actual what they look like under their bodysuits, unfortunately. It's probably gross.
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Alcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
Huh, interesting how the Volus and Alcor have to share one, but humans get their own space. That's odd. But yeah, they're the Alcor. I'd forgotten what their race name was, so.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of sections like this in the game. Like I said, I'm going to try to find a good balance of when I go into super depth with talking to these people and trying to balance that and story-based stuff. So I'll figure it out over the course of the game.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
So you're a race of bankers, sort of? I mean that's generalizing, but... Oh, oops.
I'd like to know more about the Vauldemare.
I'm sure our history and
Oh,
culture
that's why I chose investigate, so I was like, wait a minute, what?
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
Now, normally in most of the like cases when you ask a person about their race, like when you find the first person of your race to like ask them all these questions about their history and everything, would be a bit I don't know if I'd say ham-fisted, a bit forceful. But I think it makes sense in this case because we are talking to a diplomat ambassador, so they're there to represent their race or culture or group or whatever to this like city or the Citadel or whatever. So asking them all these questions makes sense. Obviously, we asked a random Volus all these questions. The first one we met would be kind of dickish.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Den. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
You're just being silly, Ambassador. No way.
Why aren't the Volus or Alcor part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus Ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
Well, we're getting so much treatment because humans are awesome.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Yeah, I like this conversation. They kind of work well together. One's like kind of emotional, one of the other one's more logical in this case.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
When he's
Yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
when he says I should go, you're gonna get used to that a lot. I think there's been like videos online about all the time Shepard saying I should go. That's like his default. I've got to get out of here, basically.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Another ambassador we can ask about your whole history and about your race, so we can get exposition without doing it during major story plot scenes.
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
I am very sorry for you. If only that worked with most people.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Alcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Well, depending on what point of the game you play, that might be true or not. Let's ask him about the Alcor.
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
More culture. More culture!
Tell me about the history and origins of the Alcor.
The Alcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
Is it kind of ironic that a group that talks like that, that's so slow about that, would actually be super active? I'm just messing. Anyway, what about your culture?
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Alcor.
Frankly, we Alcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups, though we are always welcoming to outsiders. Our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
They like to, well, I don't know, I'd say introvert, but they're very comfortable with themselves. And most people aren't really comfortable with sudden changes, so you're not really alone in that.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
But yeah, basically the Citadel is a place where you'll find like all these races, and you're probably going to have quite a few conversations with people about them. Not all the time, because obviously sometimes you have to get that out of the way. Yeah, this first, I don't think, yeah, there's nothing for that door here. And also, as soon as we step out of the embassies, we'll run across one of our first, I think a site, oh no, that activates later, never mind, so. Oh, Vina. Well, we're here and see you multiple times throughout this place, so. Anyway, let's talk to this receptionist here, see what she has to say.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
Have we, yeah, I was like, have we met?
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
Oh, I'm notable. How nice.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
Yeah, Avina's that robot lady, but let's ask anyway.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
So, like, if she does all the work, what are you doing? What are you here for?
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
Busy?
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
I guess you make a good point.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
Yeah, but more codex. I'm not sure if it's talking to her. She might unlock something else. Maybe it's Avina or something like that. But yeah, this blue race of ladies, which later on someone will explain it to us. But these are the Asari. I don't know. Some people kind of compare them to the Twi'leks of the Mass Effect universe. They're a race of all females. But like I said, I don't want to go into too much detail because I think at some point we can ask someone about all that information from someone or something.
Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
Are you real? Is this real life?
So are you a person or a program?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
Yeah, might as well.
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
Important, you say? Not sitting on your butt and talking about red tape and talking in circles all day?
I want to know more about Citadel security.
Citadel security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Man, being a security guard for a place like this that holds, like, you know, like she said, trillions of citizens, that must be a headache and a half. I wouldn't even want to think about that, really. Then again, I guess it's the same for police officers in big cities in any country, I guess.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago. As Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Wow, that's rather quick, isn't it? Because we were just recently seen and jumped. Man, we really are getting like a lot of like good graces with the council, despite what we think. Yeah.
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Salarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
Well, wait. It's funny how the game says that they're the most like populous race, yet we almost, well, I mean, we run across them, but not as many as they say. So it's like, it's almost like they want to have more humanoid characters around than having to have more of the different looking races around. I'm just saying.
Why weren't they made a council race?
The Council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They often provide economic aid in times of disaster. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
So that's, I mean, wouldn't the Volus be able to add economic? Why haven't they been chosen? But anyway, lesser species?
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Sorry, it's just a robot. It doesn't know. That's why. I'm not bad. I was just programmed this way.
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
Why do we want to think what like a VI wants? Whatever.
Do you agree with their decision?
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Do you know anything about Spectres?
The term Spectre is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Spectre agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Spectres answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
Man, if only we had something like that.
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally, the Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Salarians, the two dominant species in Citadel space. Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the three Council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
Krogan Rebellion, yeah. Man, so much to delve into. Another time, though. Sounds too perfect, though.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Well, like all bureaucracies, there are a multitude of issues they just don't want to bring up to the surface.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
Well, we've unlocked the tour guide, and they've pointed us in a direction. We'll meet many more Avinas, many more races, many more quests, and many more plot. What do I do first? Who will I talk to? Will I meander for quite a while? Find out next time in the next episode of Mass Effect. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.